Imagine a child, lost in a world of chaos, yearning for a family to call his own. This is the story of Andrew Bird. Born to a teenage mother in Corpus Christi, Andrew's early life was marred by neglect and abuse. His mother admitted to using a cocktail of drugs, and his father worked for a traveling carnival. CPS intervened when Andrew was just a year old, after his mother brought him to the hospital with a broken arm. 4 more investigations followed, each uncovering more abuse and neglect. By the age of 2.5, Andrew was deemed to be in immediate danger and placed in foster care. His parents' rights were terminated, leaving Andrew to navigate the foster system alone. Enter Larry and Hannah Overton, a devoted Christian couple with a heart for adoption. Despite financial struggles, their faith drove them to consider adopting a child with special needs. They heard about Andrew through their church, Calvary Chapel of the Coastlands. Andrew, with his blonde hair and beaming grin, was hard to miss at Sunday services. Every week, he made the same prayer request: to be adopted. The Overton's daughters, Isabel and Allie, pleaded with their parents, "Can Andrew be our brother?" Despite warnings about Andrew's troubled behavior, the Overtons moved forward with the adoption. In the spring of 2006, Andrew came to live with the Overtons for a 6-month trial period. Larry built a 3-tiered bunk bed, and they filled Andrew's room with Spider-Man-themed items. Andrew quickly grew attached to his new family, calling Larry and Hannah, Mommy, and Daddy. But 4 months later, tragedy struck. Andrew fell acutely ill and was rushed to urgent care. By the next evening, Andrew was dead. The cause? Salt poisoning. Law enforcement suspected foul play, and Hannah was charged with capital murder. Hannah's calm demeanor during the crisis was used against her, painting her as cold-blooded. The Overtons' home was searched, and more evidence seemed to support the abuse theory. Andrew's bed was a bare piece of plywood, and his Spider-Man sheets were found burned. Despite the community's support, the media portrayed the Overtons as monsters. Hannah's trial began in August 2007, with the prosecution painting a damning picture. Witnesses testified about Hannah's lack of emotion and Andrew's bruises. The defense argued that Andrew had an undiagnosed eating disorder, but it wasn't enough. Hannah was found guilty of capital murder by omission and sentenced to life without parole. Years later, new evidence suggested Andrew had accidentally poisoned himself. A leading expert on salt poisoning confirmed that Andrew likely consumed the salt on his own. Despite the new evidence, Hannah remains in prison, separated from her family. Dear God, thank you for the soup, Isaac prays. And bring Mom home soon. This is the story of love, loss, and the quest for justice.